Everyone, welcome back. So something a little different this time. I'm going to be doing some addendum videos to supplement some of the beginner breakdowns I've done already, especially in the cases of characters that have been changed a lot, like Nakoruru. In fact, she was changed and rebalanced about like 3 hours after I released and published that video on my YouTube channel. So I'm just doing this to, basically to be as helpful as I can to beginners. If something that I said in the video that was safe all of a sudden is not safe, it's not useful having, a beginner breakdown video that says the move is safe. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. Be sure to click on the description below. That way you can, I'll have a link to the full PDF file that SNK released, their English version of the patch notes, and it's 19 pages. So there you go. So let's get right to it. So first changes I'm looking at the PDF right now is Sankoku Tobi. The flying distance and time have been adjusted. If you're not sure what that move is, it's the wall jump. So I'm not sure how it's been adjusted. It doesn't give any greater details than that. And I'm not intimately familiar with the distance it was before. So I don't know if the distance now is further or if it's shorter, and if it's quicker or slower now. It just says it's been adjusted, the flying distance. So there you go. That's what it looks like now. Another change, a pretty big one, crouching heavy punch, this really good button. The hitbox size has been shortened and the active frames have been reduced. So it's, the active frames have been reduced just means that it stays out on screen for less time. And the range is still pretty good, but I think probably like right there in the previous game version, it probably would have hit. So you have to be a little bit closer for it to hit. They didn't change anything else with it though. And then jumping heavy kick, this right here, the hitbox size has been shortened. So maybe, again, I'm not intimately familiar with the hitboxes or hurt boxes. I don't really go over them in my videos or study them deeply. But maybe it had too ludicrous of a hitbox before. It seems fair now. I mean, it still crosses up. You can still short hop and use it. And then next, Amube Yataru. The resistance to the opponent's projectile has been adjusted. Same exact thing for the EX version, and that is her fireball. So this bird right there, and this is something I did want to go over. These are the type of things I want to go over. The other like hitbox and active frames and all that, I don't really care that much about because I hardly talk about that in my videos. But stuff like this is pretty important. So before, I mentioned that the bird was really good, and it would just eat a projectile and just hit the opponent. So now it can't do that. So now if it clashes with the projectile, the full animation will still happen. It won't hit the opponent anymore. So you see right here, it'll hit, right? I'm in range. See, boom, doesn't hit king. Another big change is clinging to the bird. A lot of stuff's been changed now. So before, when you went all the way up onto the bird, as she's going up, she was fully invincible. Now that invincibility time has been reduced. So, like going through fireballs and stuff like that's a lot harder. I don't think you can even do it. I'm not going through it right there. I'm just avoiding it altogether. I'm doing it too early. Like right there. I wasn't able to go through the fireball. The hurt box size when she's on the bird has been increased, so she's easier to hit out of the air. Because it was obnoxiously hard to hit with some characters. So now, the full cast has better options against that to get her out of the air. And the amount of time, if you notice, while she's on the bird has been drastically reduced. She can't really fly really far around anymore. Also, the recovery landing time of her climax super has been increased. Let me block this really quick. So I'm going to hold back, see how long it took for me to be able to move. So she lands and she recovers a lot longer now. I'm not sure what the recovery was like on the past one because I didn't even go over that in my video. Hadn't even considered it. And then last change they did was her bird super, this right here. They changed the resistance to opponent's projectiles. So much like her regular bird projectiles, they changed how it interacts with projectiles. I think it still beats out some projectiles. Like in this case, it went right through it and hit king. But I'm gonna guess maybe some things like super fireballs, kind of like say like Rio throwing out like his big ass fireball. I'm assuming in the past maybe that bird would have beat it out completely. Maybe it won't anymore. Yep, I was right. I had to test it out really quick just to be sure. So I'm assuming in other circumstances it would have won and hit Rio. So there you have it. That is the full list of changes for Nakoruru, all nerfs completely. There may be some stealth nerfs somewhere, but I am not a fighting game lab scientist to figure that out, so I don't know if, like, say this is still safe. I didn't really test it out too much. I'm just going off the patch notes. Sometimes fighting game developers really like doing stealth stuff, like not telling you about things. I've noticed. I don't know why. It's pretty. I find it very annoying. What's more annoying than that is not releasing patch notes at all. You're just saying, hey, it's been updated. But at least we got something to go off of. 19 pages. Hopefully that helped. And yeah, I look forward to some other really short addendum videos for characters that I've covered that I feel like I should make an extra video for.